I've been building this chatbot which uses different models depending on the complexity of the prompt, but let me begin by showing you an example by running this. So when I run a prompt like hello, how are you doing? I think we are getting a response, but as you can see, the response is coming from Llama 3 from Grok. Then if I write a prompt like write a Python function which prints all the numbers of the Fibonacci sequence, right? When I send this prompt, it's a bit of a more complex prompt. Yeah, so this prompt is going to be routed to GPT-4o for processing. Yeah, so we get a response, but then as you can see, the model that has been used is GPT-4o. I think now I can write another simple prompt like I am doing really well. I hope everything is everything is fine on your end. When I send this prompt, then ideally it should be using Llama 3 here. So as you can see, for the simpler prompts, we are routing it to Llama 3, and then for the more complex prompt, we are routing it to GPT-4o. So let me just show you how I was able to achieve this. Right, so there is a library called RouteLLM. It is it's actually a large language model that was trained from data from Chatbot Arena. Yeah, and its particular purpose is to be able to channel user queries or user prompts to the appropriate model that is able to process that kind of query. So here, yeah, so here is the code that I used to create the chatbot that I just showed you. And yeah, for the UI, I used the library called Streamlit. So Streamlit is an open source library that is used by mostly data scientists and AI researchers to quickly build web apps that they can share with other people to interact with their models or systems that they have built. Right. So using RouteLLM is actually very easy. So first and foremost, we import the controller. You have to make sure you provide your API keys, like I did this here using so we use load.env to load the credentials in our .env file. Yeah, then we provide them like this to our runtime. So yeah, so first thing first is we need to initialize the controller. Then while initializing the controller, you have to pass in the routers that you're going to use, a strong model, which is GPT-4, and a weak model, which is Llama 3. And I'm not going to work so much into the Streamlit things, but I think what's most important is how to prompt and give the AI a message. So yeah, so on the client, after initializing the client, we're going to have to come here. And yeah, then we call the chat.completions.create. Then we pass in our routing model again, which this time we're using version 0.1153, 11593 of the MF router. And then we are passing the API messages, which we construct here. You know how you always do it with the OpenAI API kind of structure, which is role content, role content, role content. Yeah, so that's the same kind of thing that it needs. Yeah, and then you're able to access your response by calling the choices, get the first result, then message and content. Yeah, so that's basically it. Yeah, so I think this solution would actually be very good for people who are working in a constrained budget and trying to build complex systems that are able to handle like very complex queries without, or it can even be things like if you need things prompts that have a very large context and you want to utilize a model that has a large context window. Yeah, then you're able to use this route LLM to be able to channel your prompts to the correct large language model to handle that particular kind of query. Yeah, and I think according to the research paper, for the researchers who came up with this model, I think they claimed that this solution was able to save almost 80% of the costs. Yeah, so thank you so much. I'm going to add a link to the GitHub repository that was used for this project here such that you can see it and then you play around with it. Thank you very much and happy coding. Have a good day.